Hey y'all, what's going on? So listen, let's go ahead and get into the Atlanta hoes real quick. And then, well, I really want to get into love and hip hop hoes. I don't know. Let's go ahead and do Atlanta hoes. Okay, so it all starts with Nene and they at Nene's house, and Nene's preparing to, get ready to move. She got to go to LA and all of that for the show that she's on and all of that. So, anyhow, so here comes her son in with the grandbaby, which we already knew she had a grandbaby. I posted that a long time ago on the Much Love Facebook page. Okay. So, and which I was glad that Bryce came over with the baby. I'm just kind of like Nene was trying to give up, she was telling him, well, I was about your age when you had, and when I had you, and it changed things. Of course, her husband was in the background saying that I really hope that you will stand up and be the man you need to be. So he's like, I got a job and looking for another one. And her husband's like, you need to be looking for a third one because the damn milk is high and shit and Pampers, this and that and other, da 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 da. So Nene said, so I hope, are you planning on having any more kids? And he said yes. And right then I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this baby, you just had this baby. And you're not married and all this and that and other. Not that you can't have a baby without being married, but just normal protocol or whatever, or what have you. Okay, and Nene's like, oh, well, I hope you be married. And he's like, nah, I don't never want to get married. And she again is like, oh, you know what I mean? So that was the whole tea with that. The thing is that I'm glad that, I'm kind of glad that Nene brought the baby on. Y'all know I'm kind of sketchy about people bringing they babies and things like that out in the public. You know what I'm saying? For the public eye and TV, YouTube, or whatever. And so, anywho, that was that scene. Nothing, overwhelming, nothing great happened. And I have to tell y'all, it's not that I was like enthralled in the shit that went on. You know what I'm saying? This particular episode, because it really was boring in comparisons to what it has been. You know what I'm saying? For the last 2, maybe 3 episodes. Anywho, y'all, this mad is really mad. Hold up, y'all. Okay. So, after we go to that, let's flip over because I want to go and talk about Miss Portia and Miss Candice meeting up. But before I go to that, please let me have a moment and talk about Miss Candice at home and her baby, and they in the house, and they trying to do the family thing, and he's over at rustling up barbecue, and she's like, with her baby trying to see what she got to do for homework, da da da. And it was all cute and everything. The house looks absolutely wonderful, and I'm so proud of her on that. You know what I'm saying? I think Candice is, like smart with her money and this and that and other. So kudos to her on that. And of course, I'm happy for her if this is the right one for her. Now, word is that she got a habit of taking care of man. I don't know that personally about her, and I hope that is not the case with this situation, because it seems to me like she really does care about him, and I'm hoping it's the same thing with her. Anyhow, so they go on to talk about how the baby is whenever somebody new is in her life, and how she was with the guy who ultimately he ended up being killed when they were supposed to get married. And the little girl was like, you don't even know him. And before I knew it, homegirl was like, her daughter, she was like, well, I looked up, you told me about him, and then he was in our house. Like, wait a minute. Now, it is some truth to what the baby is saying. My issue is how she said it, which although she was trying to say it like nice, kind of, but she does have an opinion. It has been just her and her mother, whatever the case may be. But I just felt like, was that some red signs? You know what I'm saying? That maybe she wasn't feeling him or whatever. And that's the real truth of the matter. But if that's the case, I just felt like she was, I don't know, she was giving me a little grown tease or something. But with that being said, you don't know the relationship between them. If the dynamics between her and her mama is that they open with each other, then okay, you can understand it. Now, in my opinion, I might have been like, who you talking to? You know, because clearly you would hope that your mother has pretty good judgment before she be bringing them around like she said. But the little girl was kind of jazzy, and I'm like, is it me or is this baby a little jazzy? But I'm moving on along, honey. Let's get off of that. So they had that whole scene, and while that was going on, it just seemed to me like he was over to the side and kind of not wanting to be a part of that. I don't know. Y'all drop that shit below and let me know what y'all think about that. Okay. Now we can move on to Miss Portia and Miss Candy's going, and they going, you know, pick things for their houses. Candy was digging her place and was like, you know, I liked her decor, which her home was very, very pretty, Miss Portia's home. And so Portia takes her there, and she was like, oh, and I said, I want this, this, and this, and don't show me no receipts. Okay. Now, I don't care money or no money. It seems to me like you would still want to see a receipt, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure they ain't overcharging you, bitch. They could be charging you for the steps you took in the motherfucking store. You don't know, bitch, and we charge you $20,000 more because you walked 100 steps in the store. I'm just saying, whether you have money or not, you can still be smart and wise. And what the fuck is wrong with looking at your receipt? Like anybody would do that. Now, some motherfucker might say, well, you know, if you ain't been in that position, you know, you haven't had it like that, then maybe, you know, you might not want to see the receipt or whatever. I'm sorry, I beg to differ. I think most people want to know, even when you balancing your shit and making sure where what money went and this and that and other, just as simple as that. I don't think it has anything to do with class, this and that and other. So Candace went on to say, well, I'm a little frugal with my shit, and I still will be like, you know, to make some money. And I still be like, yeah, $50,000 for a motherfucking bed cover, I ain't gonna be able to do it. Let's just be fucking sensible. So this is what Candace is doing. Now, in the midst of that, they start looking at shit, and old girl says, well, I'm like that about everything but lamps. Like, is this... Okay. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to rock with Portia, but she is coming off as the dumbest bitch ever. You know what I'm saying? It's like whenever she says something stupid, this is her eyes. Blink, 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 blink. Like, I'm serious. She's some cartoon ass shit. Like, is this some clown ass shit this bitch said? When it comes to lamps, that's where I fucking draw the line. I need to know the price. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Anywho, they in the middle of that. And Candace goes on to talk about and ask her, well, you know, did you have a prenup? And she said no, because when I was with him, it's different from the basketball player. And no, we didn't have none. And Candace like, what? You didn't have none? So, you know, we all know that Candace would like to be married, but she don't want to force the issue. Okay. You know, and Candace is like, well, I think, you know, there may be a cause for a prenuptial because people be mad and shit happens, which was code for that motherfucking nigga didn't come in here with the motherfucking money I have now. It's all fine and dandy when he hitting his ass off of the motherfucking mountain and he's nice and shit, but it's a whole nother motherfucking thing when the bitch want to leave with half. You know, but let's don't be shady, ladies, because y'all know we feel like we are just do half. Sometimes 60%. So let's keep it all the way motherfucking gutter. And she is basically, I think, setting the scene. And I think, you know, trying to prepare and how she's gonna, you know, if he does ask her to marry, how she's gonna bring up the prenup and this and that and other. Okay, so old girl says, well, you know, if he would ask me, you know, if we left and it's over, honey, I'm like Tina Turner. I don't want nothing but my name, bitch. You gonna want them motherfucking lamps that you do want the receipt for and the rest of that shit. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Like, I can't. I can't. Just don't do it, bitch, and say, you know, I guess you could be in it just for love or whatever. But, I don't know, on the last episode, you look like his motherfucking puppy, a puppet or whatever. He's like, don't say, don't talk. You know, like, I can't. I'm not here for it. But a bitch can be, you know, submissive however the fuck she want to be. I'm just not here for it. That's me and my personal motherfucking opinion, which is always what the fuck I give when I'm talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying you may do that. I'm just not here for it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, respect or whatever, but bitch, don't say, don't, not, what? Like a fucking dog or a child? Sit down. Okay. So Candace is kind of looking at her like, okay, well, I've been over here with Dumb Betty for long enough, and we've had this conversation. Okay. Okay, now let's skip on over to, I'm trying to think. Now we talked about, okay. Let's skip on over to Cynthia, because, you know, and let me say this, because old girl did say, you know, how did you deal with it when you was into people? Because apparently she is invited as well to the party, and we all know that her and Kenya is not meshing at all. You know what I'm saying? Kenya then basically drew the line in the sand and said, bitch, I don't want to be friends, but I will be cordial. I won't throw shit and try to claw your motherfucking eyes out every time I see you. But bitch, we, you know, you over there, I'm over here, and I'm good. I can respect a bitch for that. Okay. So so they have that. Cynthia's gonna have this little get together. Now y'all check this, because I do want to talk about this. Why was Uncle Ben, did y'all check what he said? He was asking Cynthia, why we gotta have it here? Like, what was that about? You know, I mean, like, where was your print with that? I thought you was alright with Nene. Y'all can't stand his motherfucking fickle ass. I don't know if he's upset at the fact that here Phaedra is getting ready to have another baby, and apparently him and what's his name gonna be in the closet still a little bit longer, what he is going through. Okay, so she's having a little get together. Now before we get to that, you know, Nene has a scene where she's packing this and that and other. Her husband's like, come and help me, da da da, you know, which wasn't that grand a scene. Let's just go on and go in now, because I gotta pause for a minute, because we do have to have a moment to talk about Miss Kenya. Now, Kenya girl, now you already got on radio and said that you already said little statements and things saying that the man is gay, this and that and other. We've already discussed this. But bitch, don't try to fucking backpedal and try to make yourself look better by saying that this man is gay. Like, really? Did you go and meet with your mama and pull a chair, bitch, and say, he got in the shower, he didn't even think about looking at me, and then when I went, he was in the bed, and Now, listen, just stop it. And I understand that, you know, this is already taped, and at that point you trying to carry this damn farce on and shit, you know, of how you met up with him and y'all agreed and this and that and other and blah, 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 this and that and other. But by no means do you need to, like, tarnish his motherfucking character or whatever. And with that being said, what gets me is a bitch who will be done laid with a motherfucker, and then afterwards you want to say he's gay, bitch. If he was gay, bitch, you didn't get no twins or nothing before you dropped trial. Like, I'm just saying, before your motherfucking knees parted or whatever the fuck you did, you didn't get no vice, so don't do it. Just, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Say that shit for the tabloids, bitch. Like, really, you tried it, and on top of that, you know, I just find it offensive or whatever. I just feel like, you know, girl, you are taking this shit too far. And I was like, I just like him, and oh, and women have women intuition, and you going through your crying and pouting and this and that and other, and girl, stop it. Like, I'm just trying to, I mean, you know, he didn't already raid you for filth. Now, say you mad about that when he said, well, at your age and where you at and you still ain't married, but you say you wife him to, bitch. If ever a bitch had been read in a household scene, you was read down back boots. Back boots, that's it. Anywho, so y'all have that whole scene. Then let's go over to the party. Now, y'all, let me pause here for a minute, because did y'all happen to check what old dude said? Now, going back to Uncle Ben. Now, first of all, what's her name? Candace come in, and he's like, you just came in, the door's unlocked. That's one. Well, that's actually two, because he was hitting it with why they got to come over and this and that and other. That was one. And when you came in was two. And then you said something about her shorts. Like, that's the first motherfucking thing you see. Like, I can't with you. I really can't. And Cynthia, let me have a moment with you. I understand you and Kenya are having y'all words, this and that and other. But if you want to try to play the classy bitch, then play that role to its fullest. And don't keep on saying little sideways shit about Kenya. Like, I'm just saying, she's not my favorite person, but bitch, you not looking no better. This is all I'm saying. You know, you not looking no better. And Miss Candy, let me have a word with you, because you're like, oh, Nene and her husband, and they sound like, what was that about? Was that a kiki for you? Like, I'm just asking. Of course, I've always thought that you was a nitpicking ass ninny any motherfucking way. You always with that sideways shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll try to get out of the way if you need to, but you always doing this. You know, that's you. That's your MO. But girl, do whatever you do. Y'all, that's all I want to say about the Atlanta hoes. It wasn't really that grand for mine. I wasn't like, you know, I wish Nene the best on her, you know, and she's already out there or whatever. Wish her the best. And Nene, let me pause for a minute, because yes, you didn't feel the need and you're a glam mom and this and that and other, but girl, that's your grandbaby, honey. Be proud of that baby. It is what it is. She's here now. She's precious, and ain't nothing wrong with you being there. You say that's the mama to do, yeah, but don't act like you ain't happy about this her baby. Like, the circumstances, yes, it's too soon, but honey, now the baby's here. She's sweet as pie, honey, and dote on her and treat her as such. You know what I'm saying? No need to hide your grandbaby and all that. Girl, stop it. Just don't do it. And not that, I guess you wasn't really trying to hide her. It could have been that you was like, I don't know, you know, like you said with Cynthia, you first brought her around her. You feel comfortable with her, but that's your baby. Like, what's wrong with that? And you know what I mean? Like, that's your grandbaby, basically. So I don't know where you was going with that. But, honey, just dote on that beautiful sweetie pie baby. And let that be the reason, honey. Glam mom, granny, grandmammy, whatever the hell you want to call yourself. Honey, just be that. You know, be there for him and support him through this. Anywho. Now, what else? Y'all, if I left some shit out, y'all already know, put that shit in. Like I said, I wasn't so enthralled in Atlanta hoes this week. But, you know, however, whatever. Now on to love and hip hop hoes. Now, I'm going to just tell y'all. I know that Mona had to dig deep to kind of get some shit that could rival, you know, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, because that still hasn't been. And there's some new shit going on or whatever. A bunch of new people that I have no clue to, for real. You know what I'm saying? I even care to know. Yandy's back. Erica and what's the one chick? Olivia's motherfucking non-factor ass. She's back at the manager. And I must say, Olivia, your hair was cooking. It really was cooking. But these new ones, I don't know, like these names and shit. I'm like, who? What? Y'all don't have the names down? Y'all know I don't have the names down. So let's go ahead and get into it. So y'all know how it starts. Mona and her whole motherfucking speech. And it started here. And then, you know, her whole shit. Mona, please, with this scripted ass shit, I can't. Now, bitch, if you want to do a damn soap opera, do that. But this scripted ass reality shit, I can't. And part of this shit was fucking scripted. I don't care what nobody say. Especially when that bitch was there and shook the motherfucking table and the food dumped over and they flashed to the bitch don't grab her motherfucking bag. Bitch, please. Come on. That's not scripted. Come the fuck on. With that being said, let me go ahead and talk about, what is it, Joe Budden or whatever the fuck his name is. I have no clue to who he is. I really don't give a damn, but apparently he is going to be the Stevie of this episode, as far as I'm concerned, because he got the hoes acting a motherfucking fool amongst each other. Now, I will say this, old girl who he was with that threw the table and the person shit, I like her. Now, it just is what it is, and I like her. That's it. She is like trying to get over him and whatever, and apparently they was together for a long time. He calls up and like, you know, I want you to meet me. It's been all this time and so and so, and he's sitting there eating a motherfucking salad or whatever with his Rick Ross beard. I don't know, y'all. I'm just don't know what he's got going on her and her, you know, just period. So he's sitting there eating, she comes in, and in the midst of that, when they talk about how they was together and how they came about, apparently he had a YouTube channel and he would show her and he had a camera on her ass and this and that and other, and as he said, he lives his relationship shit out loud. Okay. So apparently the shit ended off wrong, and she sat down and talked, and he's like, how you been? And when she comes up, he wants her to turn around, and girl, I would not obliged him. Girl, listen, you ain't got to be that wrote the book to know the motherfucking story. Like, really, you shouldn't even went there and met with him, but I understand the play. Your feelings are still in him, and please stop with whoever you having the conversation with talking about you don't love him or want him, because boo-boo, yes you do. And I'm not going to say you right or wrong in that. Just let's admit that you do, and then we'll move on along. Okay, so they talking, and he's saying, you know, things is changing, and it's like he's kind of goading her. She gets upset. He gets up and hugs her from behind, and the shit gets worse. And she finally said, I gave you all what the fuck I got, you know, and all her sauciness and, you know, salsa. And she's like, boom, flip the table and this and that and other. Not flip the table, but kind of throw the table. And this is when she gets up and leaves her purse. Now, boo, that was a little too scripted for me, but I hope you went back and got your bag. So she gets up and walks away, and he's kind of sitting there or whatever. You know, and that's how I want to usher them in. And then after that, she decides to go and talk to her friend. And I know I'm not doing it in order, y'all. Y'all already know. Which apparently she sells shoes to the stars or whatever. And, well, okay. Well, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone, and I ain't going to talk about what kind of shoes she sells, motherfucking knockoffs and shit. You know, that's fine. Because I don't down a bitch from wearing knockoffs. If you listen, shit, buy what the fuck you can afford. You know what I'm saying? My issue is with a bitch who will put some motherfucking Christian Louboutins or whatever and say they motherfucking real. Okay. Anywho, so she apparently has some little shit, and she hooked him up with the shoes, and she got a little red hair and this and that and other on, and she's in her apartment. Old girl comes in and say, oh, well, I went to go meet with Joe. And, you know, and old girl's like, what? You know, again, with this scripted ass shit, because I'm like, is this bitch reading off of some shit that's behind old girl? Is when they pan to her, do they got some shit up for her to read? She's like, why would you do it? You sound like it, you know, and this bitch seems like she's singing, and I can't. So old girl's like, look, I went, you know, no, I'm not going back or whatever. She's trying to sell this whole dream of like she's over him. No, ma'am, you're not. I will say in her whole scene 1, act 2 act, she was telling you what was so in the act, like you are still in love with him, and tell me one good thing he done or whatever. He do seem to be playing games with you. Like, I don't see it. And with that being said, please somebody chime in and tell me right now, I'm sorry, but Joe Budden comes out to me as a piece of trade. Period. Drop that shit below. Couple of pieces of trade in this motherfucker. Let me tell you. Anywho, y'all drop that shit below. I don't know. I might be mixed up or some shit. I seeing this shit wrong. Maybe the motherfucker's metrosexual. I don't know. Just drop that shit below. So she's like, I know, and so and so. So they go off of that. So I forget what her name is. I don't know how I feel about Little Red Riding Her. I don't know yet. You know, it's just simple as that. I don't really know. You know, I know some stuff that I've kind of read, some stuff that I've kind of heard, but you know, you don't know for sure. So I don't know. I'll leave that where it's at. Okay. In the midst of that, let's flip over and please let's go to Miss Olivia. Not Miss Olivia. Erica, which is still in the show. So she did have an impact, and Kim Bella, bitch, they bounced your ass right on out and left Miss Erica there. Which I ain't gonna say I'm mad at Erica. I ain't mad at Erica. Like, Erica laid that shit out. Like, the whole scene was she was taking pictures, this and that and other. This is what she doing. She was telling your boy who came in, who's Erica's, not Erica, is it Erica's? Supposed to be her boyfriend. Which is Olivia's friend / manager, whatever. He comes and he's like, hey, and this and that and other. You can kind of see it's something between them, but nothing major. Okay, so he's like, you like it's better I set this up for you. You can't be, you know, being this and then expect for them to respect you on this level and da-da-da. But old girl was like, listen, that's what pays motherfucking bills and makes it possible for me to do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to tell her, you know, you low budget is basically what he was giving. You know, you got to quit with all this trashy shit. Like, come the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even going to say that's what she's doing like she said. This is what made her be able to do what she's doing and have motherfucking dare you say what the fuck you said. If that's what she doing, bitch, and if you felt like she was motherfucker, cause that's what I got that you was saying, oh, that's just kind of true. You know, that's what I got from it. Then, bitch, why you lay your dick in? And I'm just trying to ask you. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. And with that being said, bitch, since when do you eat where you motherfucking lay? Okay. So don't be hitting her off with that like she said. That's her bread and butter. But he's like, I got you. You ain't never had this treatment. And I think Eric is kind of like, ain't nobody really treating me like that or whatever. Which is really sad because it's not like you not do that. Whether you took pictures or not, still a woman, whatever, however. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm not feeling him anyway, y'all. So right now, because of the way he came off. Okay. Jump over to him going to Olivia. She's in her house talking about, oh, now you want to knock on the door. Bitch, like you didn't know he was at the door. They done gave you the motherfucking scene shit. You know where they hit the shit. Come on, stop. Please, Olivia, stop. Like, you haven't been on a hot minute and I can't stand you already again. Stop with it. So she's like, am I out of the loop? What's going on with you and old girl and this and that and other? And Olivia, bitch, you act like you motherfucking fucking where you eating that too, bitch. Like, he's supposed to be your friend and your manager. Why are you so fucking vested? And with that being said, how can it fuck up your motherfucking career, bitch? You ain't got none. Child, you ain't had a motherfucking decent single since motherfucking Beatles. So please stop beating that drum, girl. That's done. Are you even selling CDs out of your motherfucking trunk? Like, I just need to know. So you all in his business. He's like, well, you can ask her. Okay. So let's get off of that because I just don't want to talk about her no more right now. Okay, so that's Olivia and her shit. Now, Fashishi and what's her name? Yandy. So Yandy's pregnant, gonna have a baby, and they just set up this whole, you know, got a whole bunch of stunt doubles and this and that and other, and people to be in the audience like that at this party, and that shit was so fucking staged, I about threw up. Okay, so she's pregnant, gonna have a baby for feces, whatever the fuck you going with. You know, he's been over here, she's opening gifts, he goes over and says, you know, she's like, how we gonna get this home? And he's like, you know, your dad's gonna, can't he drive it or whatever? She's like, no, what about you? We made the baby together. He's like, he going to a party. She's acting like she didn't know he's a motherfucking partying ass dude. Like, ooh, these brand new bitches when they get on shows, I can't. Okay. So she's like, but my dad shouldn't have to do that. And he's like, look, I'm going and that's it. And I about croaked, y'all. He was like, that's it, I'm going. That's it. Like, son, that's it. That's it. You know, like, forget about it. I'm going. Why we even talking about this shit? I'm going. So he did go, and she was like, he's about to get on my last nerve. He was about to get on your motherfucking last nerve, left behind, bitch. Because he showed left and went where he was going. Now, apparently, y'all been dibbing and dabbling for a little while, and I see you trying to make it into something. But, honey, Cookie, that's not the tea. And, yeah, I'm gonna talk about some other tea about you and y'all relationship on the Much Love page, y'all, on the website. I'm gonna write it up in just a little bit of tea. So y'all have to get that over there. As soon as I put it up, I'll post it on the Facebook page. Anywho, so okay, so you sitting there and y'all have the whole thing, and feces is out of the picture. Okay, now who do we want to go to? Now this is when I want to talk about this bitch that gets ushered in, who I don't know what she do, but apparently old girl who was with Joe Budden or whatever his name is, and I'm saying his name wrong, we just gonna call him the bearded ass dude. She was friends with this new girl who's like everybody who knows, and I get the dirt and this and that and other. So Joe has her to come over, and y'all forget her name because these motherfucking names is straight out of some banana ass motherfucking book. I don't know. This is some crazy ass shit. These motherfuckers is named feces, letters for Kasha. You know, just I can't keep up with it. Anywho. So here she comes, and she's going, apparently driving the Joe Buttons, and apparently she's a who's who knows all the dirt and this and that and other. And I don't know where this scab comes in at, and I call her scab because later on in the scene she gonna show her scabbardry. So she goes, and she's a Joe, and Joe is sitting there, and he has the most gorgeous pit bull ever. I love the dog. Anywho, so he's sitting on the couch like he's a motherfucking king. He's like, so I met up with her, and she threw the table and blah blah blah. And he's like, you know, a girl's like, I don't know, you know, me and her was alright, and then she was like, she wasn't cool with me, da da da, you know. And all of this is about, from what I get, you know, going into the next shit, cause he and let me say this, he gonna have a pool party and invite them both, which he is full of motherfucking games and shit, and I do see that out of him, but okay, I can't. So she goes and meets up with old girl who used to go with Joe or whatever, and they finally meet. Apparently they was friends or whatever, and it's supposed to be that old girl thinks, Joe's ex-girlfriend thinks that this bitch who was supposed to be, she knows, and who's who and this and that and other, old girl, Joe's ex-girlfriend, think they fucked or whatever. And old girl's like, you was going around saying that I fucked him and I didn't. And old girl was like, I feel that way, plus I felt like, you know, basically she was on the come up shit, like she was using their friendship just to come up. And I thought me and you was cool, and on top of that, bitch, now you're fucking him, y'all doing late shows and going here and doing this. So she felt some shit under her skin, which I ain't got shit to say about that. And I'm sorry this is running so long, y'all. I ain't got shit to say about that. I mean, you know, make it do what it do. So they try to have a conversation. That shit don't work. Oh girl, Joe's ex-girlfriend walks out, and she's steamed and she's heated. You know, and the other bitch is like, well, you know, like that bitch kind of, she's a shady bitch, and I see it in her. Okay, so finally here comes Joe's party. And oh girl, you know, it's all. And before I get to that, let me go ahead and talk about this. So Yandy has a baby. They come home. Before that, like after the baby shower, he's like, I want to move, da da da. Not have a baby. I want to move, and this ain't my spot. And if I'm late, you locking the chain. And she's like, if we move, if you late, I'm still gonna lock the chain. Like, Yandy, bitch, you're trying to make a motherfucker into a husband that don't want to be that. Like, it's like you begging for a motherfucking ring. You get what I'm saying? Like, bitch, you ain't been out here this long and ain't got caught up and got pregnant and wait this long to have one. Girl, that's some playing shit, and that's never a good look. Figure that the fuck out, and you might want to think about just taking care of you and your motherfucking baby, because I don't see no future in y'all, you and the feces, whatever fuck his name is. Okay, now off of that. So here's the pool party, and old bitch is there, and I got to call her that because she's on my nerves. That says she know everybody's dirt, this and that and other. Who his ex-girlfriend is mad at. She's there. He's like, let's play truth. You know, she's like, I don't know, when I went there, she went off and this and that and other, and you know, she's playing this whole other role to him, and I'm thinking, this bitch done fucked him. She's a motherfucking lie. She done did something, you know. This is what I'm thinking, you know. So then old girl comes and sits down. They kind of get to arguing. This bitch over here who claims she didn't fuck him, she gets all upset, like, you know, she did, like, when I try to meet with you, this and that and other. This bitch is all hostile and shit as soon as Joe Button's ex-girlfriend comes in. Okay, he goes to his confessional. He's like, I never seen this side of her. Maybe I do kind of understand what old girl, his ex-girlfriend, is saying, because I ain't never seen this. I don't even know why she's acting like this. Now, something that went on. Y'all done had an oil transaction or something. Now, I'm going to need to see y'all deposited withdrawal slips on this shit. Because Joe, something ain't right. Anywho, so he's like, can we do truth? He gets old girl to sit down, and old girl is still huffing and puffing, and she gets upset, and somehow mamas get involved in it, and your mama ain't there, and bitch find yours, and the shit goes down, and next thing you know, his ex-girlfriend hits that bitch, and I was like, hell no. You know what I mean? Like, not that she didn't need to sock that bitch, but it did kind of take me off. Like, that bitch was not. His ex-girlfriend was not for her motherfucking bullshit. So he has old girl escorted out. She's out there like, I ain't never had him to deal with me like this, and this is hurt. Like, bitch, why are you so upset? I mean, and like old girl said, when it comes down to you or her, bitch, you gonna always be the one to have to leave. Like, I don't get it, y'all. Is it me? Or do y'all think something is going on? Something ain't right. I don't know. I don't know, but he's like, now I see, and she got to go, and he had her escorted, you know, and she's like, you gonna hold me, let her hit me, girl. Bitch, if you have a motherfucking words with a motherfucker, let's just say this, and let this be a motherfucking lesson. If you and a motherfucker, I don't care who it is having words, y'all in the same room, bitch, at any point you need to be motherfucking prepared for that shit to go motherfucking south. These bitches killed me with this, and the bitch hit me, what? Bitch, I'm sorry. I'm a different kind of bitch. I'll be sliding my motherfucking shit out. Yeah, bitch, it's okay. You know, but it's fine. I mean, I feel you in what you're saying, bitch. But you come the fuck on. Be motherfucking prepared. I'm sorry. I'm not for it. And these motherfucking surprise hit bitches, they kill me. You know, I done told my kids, my daughter, be motherfucking prepared. Yeah, you could be spreading, talking words or whatever. But when you in the presence, any motherfucking thing can go down. Watch every motherfucking thing and be fucking prepared. You know what I'm saying? Words ain't shit. Y'all can do that all motherfucking day long. But, bitch, she's in your presence and y'all arguing. Bitch, at any point it could have went bananas. And then, if you didn't fuck them, bitch, why you so invested? Like, I don't know. Anywho, y'all, that's the gist of the shit. So far, a lot of y'all was like, ugh, they could have kept that, and one of my loves said it was too much too soon, and I do agree with that. Like, they tried to give you so much motherfucking drama, but this seems to be the run when it comes to Mona shit. Now, she had a, somewhat of success with the Atlanta hip-hop hoes, but like this, you might want to just 86 this shit. Like, for real. I don't know. I'm going to hang in here with it and watch it. I don't know how this shit's going to go. I'm going to look for the new, couple to come in or whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm feeling like the shit is too fucking scripted for me. Like, I can't. I'm just not here for it. So, I'm going to watch it. We're going to hang in there with it until I just can't endure it no longer. It could get better or whatever, But ultimately, at the end of the day, oh, excuse me. It's just entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's just some shit to look at. It is not, you know what I'm saying, by no means. I mean, I would imagine some people are living that life or whatever. I'm not, but, on the outside looking in, it's a key. You know what I'm saying? Just as any other motherfucking shows that come on. You know what I'm saying? You live your real life, and this shit is entertainment. It is what the fuck it is. That's it. So, that's it. I don't know about this black ink. Y'all, honey, y'all leave that below and let me know. I don't even know if I want to squeeze that shit in. And let me just go ahead and let y'all know right motherfucking now, I will not, and I mean this with all of me. Now, I'm watching the Sisterhood, and that's fine. And I said I didn't think I was going to watch it, but that motherfucking funeral show, I am not going to do it. The dead shall handle the dead, and the living shall handle the living. And I'm just not going to do it. Like, I feel like it's just so disrespectful to the people who have passed and they memory. No. So please don't ask me to talk about that. I'm asking y'all to don't ask me to talk about that. I will continue to talk about, the sister hookers. I will continue to talk about the sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm, curious to see what's going on. And you know what I'm saying, to see how, it's going to play out. I did see, and I did share a video where the Jewish pastor or whatever, he was saying that he repents from even making this show. And, so I think all the... Y'all, with that, I think all the women are kind of shaky. You know what I mean? Like a little shady or shaky or whatever. I think what's bad is that, to me, the actual premise of it, you know what I'm saying? The pastors are not even being put in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Or what they trying to, other than that one of the Oasis, and what they, you know, preaching the word or whatever. Like, I would love to hear what old girl, the one that's married to the chick who's dying to have babies, like, I'm sure he probably does preach a wonderful sermon or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He speaks like a man with some good sense or whatever. I would listen to, you know, his service or whatever. Old girl whose husband was like, you know, remember when we got married, like, you know, even want to hear what he has to say, because he probably is, you know, a man of God or whatever. But it's hard, you know what I'm saying, to see that when you looking at them doing the foolery they doing. But who gives a damn? Honey, if they like it, I motherfucking love it. So I'm going to continue to watch it. But that motherfucking funeral show, I am not going to do, because I think it is utterly disrespectful to the dead and to the memory. You know what I'm saying? Like, that I'm not going to do. The dead handle the dead, and the living handle the living. And there it is. If they motherfucking doing reviews in the afterlife and a bitch is gone, I might be able to discuss it then, there. But like here, I'm not going to be able to do that. So that I'm definitely not going to talk about. Not going to happen. So y'all, I'm out of here. This is a long ass video. If I left something, y'all put that shit in. Let me know how this lighting is or whatever in here for y'all. And, you know, the cam and the whole bit, well, the camera or whatever, because this is not a direct upload. I'm doing it on the camera, so y'all let me know. I'm out of here, y'all. Much love. Bye.